Hello adventurers, we're in Hastings. What we're going to do today, we're going to return to Smugglers Caves, because last time I was here I had a little rubbish phone that I was filming on, and we're going to go to the Smugglers Caves up the West Hill funicular train, and we'll film as we go up as well. So yeah, come and join us at Smugglers Caves.
Look at that. Behind you. Come on.
As this come up, the other one goes up. I think it's got roads on the same road.
Stop.
I'm not thinking. Leave it now, you lost it. That's it. No more. No more. Forget. Yeah, try. Stop being naughty. Sit. Okay, sit. I will.
Cheers. Yeah, that's the West Hill funicular. Oh. And then we're going to go up these steps. Oh, sorry. Yeah, look at that view. Gets a bit windy when you get up here. And the cave's just here. And just over there you've got another funicular. You can see it going down there. There we go. It's a bit of a walk. Going uphill as well. Let's go down. And there you go, there's the prices. So standard $12.30, 3 to 12 years $10.20, concession is $11.80, ferry of 4 £43.
The Monk's Walk is 45 metres, 145 feet long, and leads down into well over an acre of subterranean caverns and passages. The broad and incredible Monk's Walk were carved out of solid rock in the early 1800s by Joseph Golding. There are 23 pairs of niches designed for candles carved into the walls of the tunnel.
To see old hairy Jack Abbey in the Smugglers Caves. You are now standing 70 feet below ground. Did you know that? It's damn too dark down here, innit? But That's exactly the sort of place where we smugglers like to hide our gin, tobacco, and other booty in the old days. I should know. I was here. Of course. I was alive then. But there were people down here hundreds of years before us smugglers. Oh, yeah. Like nobody knows who carved this weird figure. You'll find it in what they call the chapel, which happens to be the most haunted part of the caves. Now look over here. This was the original entrance. Back in 1786, some posh gent found a pair of old beggars living here. They said the caves only went back a few feet into the darkness. He told them to hop it. A few feet? I warrant the smugglers was slipping them a few coins to keep out prying eyes. But more about smugglers later. Oh, yes. In the early 1800s, some of the young rascals from the town used to bring their girls up here. You can imagine. So the mayor of Hastings decided that the cave should be closed and sealed. Until some years later, a gent called Joseph Golding was working in a garden up on the West Hill when the ground gave way and he nearly tumbled into the cavern. He was astounded by what he saw. And being a bit of a showman, he got permission to open the caves to the public. Lit with hundreds of candles, those people thought they was in fairyland. But old Golding didn't stop there. He cut pillars and domes out of the solid rock to create the ballroom, where they had regular dances. And look at this big chap behind you over the door. And there is another one opposite him, just round the corner. That's the military gentleman. St. Clement's Caves was the place to visit in Victorian times. Oh Lord, yes. Much later, during the World War, which started in 1939, the caves were used as an air raid shelter. Bombs were falling on the houses in Hastings, so people came down here to be safe. There were nearly 600 beds in the caves. Imagine. Then after the war, they had tours of the caves again. And tea dances. Oh, and the jazz evenings. What a racket. Enough to wake the dead. Which reminds me, you'll be wanting to discover more about the smugglers, whose spirits still roam around these caves. So off you go, and old Harry Jack will be around to tell you some more tales later. Come on, this way. Don't mind the ghosts. They're quite friendly. Most of them.
I love all this sort of stuff. Booty. They did wear some weird clothes in those days, didn't they?
In the centre of the cabinet is the only known smuggler's accounts book, which belonged to George Smack Gillam, leader of the Little Common Gang, based near Bexhill. Most of the book contains legitimate lists of groceries, but hidden amongst the pages are records of another kind. The page you can see is an account of payments for various smuggling expeditions.
You can see how they used to smuggle tea. Oh, it's not turning around.
Wait.
What's that? £30. That's it. How much the tea would weigh?
Oh, it's tea feels like when you lift it.
Still do it.
Yeah.
This one back, it's holding up now. Hold it back.
Oh, sorry.
See.
See how a pole will take the string.
In der Mitte des Kabinetts liegt das
That one's
einzige
heavy.
bekannte Kontobuch eines Schmugglers,
that one's easy.
Gehörte, den Führer der Little Common Gang, die in der Nähe von Bexhill operierte. Legitimer Kolonialwahl. Aber bei der Seite, die Sie sehen,
I'll stick with this one.
Because it's got that on it.
Yeah.
One, yeah.
Oh, look.
Not there, there.
The Monk's Walk is 40.
Here they are, unloading the ship from France. I wonder what they could have bought this time. Of course, it don't matter much. Without paying the taxes and import duties in this country, there's money to be made on almost anything. More profitable than fishing, eh? As long as you doesn't get caught.
In the early
Bring it ashore, boys!
So it's the smuggle stuff.
No, this one is a book. Oh shit.
Tobacco in the book, yeah. Brandy. I did have some genius ideas.
What he used to do with that is fool the ships that it was a lighthouse. And it ain't one, it was a torch, but that's China, so the boats go on the rocks.
Yeah.
Yeah, you learn all that.
And also, because it was so small, and you could only see it when if it was like dead on, so no one else from the side could see it. I got some more of these, what they used to smuggle.
See if you can raise the ripple.
Clothes in bread. Let's put coins in there, in those things.
If you wake at midnight and hear a horse's feet, don't go drawing back the blind or looking on the street. Them that asks no questions isn't told a lie. Watch the wall, my darling, as the gentlemen go by.
That's right, my old mates. Turn your face to the wall. So if they ask you, you didn't see nothing, did you? We're talking about smuggling, see? Bringing goods into the country illegal like. And there was a time from about 1700 until, say, 1830, when everyone was at it.
Diverse vessels running large quantities of tea and brandy on the coasts of Kent and Sussex.
The ruder classes of inhabitants are famous for smuggling, for which they lie exceeding convenient.
For many of us, it was the only way to survive. And why? Taxes, that's what. England was always at war during the 16 and 1700s, and the government needed money to pay for it all. So, what happened? Right, up went the taxes. By the 1700s, the tax was so high on many of the important things we all needed that most people considered buying smuggled goods without any tax to be the only answer.
In every place I went, they drank no tea but what was rum.
Many great men not only connive at smuggling, but practice it. You were not respectable then if you weren't a smuggler.
That's right. It wasn't just the poor folk.
Brandy for the parson, baccy for the clerk, laces for a lady, letters for a spy. Watch the wall, my darling, while the gentlemen go by.
That's what they called us, the gentlemen. And the gentlemen were sailing across to France and the Low Countries, fetching back huge quantities of gin in small barrels called tubs, and tea in oilskin bags.
Some of the finest seamen in the world.
But the smugglers on land were just as important as the seamen. We wouldn't have got far without the lookout men. They watched from the cliff tops and signalled out to the smuggling ships.
Danger! Do not run the goods tonight.
That means the preventive men were out and about to catch us. Or,
all clear.
Come ashore, lads. We're waiting to unload. And we have bodyguards called batmen.
Bah, step no further.
They had big clubs or bats, which they used to discourage any nosy parties from interrupting our work.
A good team could run 500 tubs ashore in 20 minutes.
Then once the tubs were hauled up the cliff, often by derrick crane, the tubmen carried them off into the night. Smuggled goods were hidden everywhere. Houses had false floors, chimneys and cupboards. Even churches had vaults set aside for storage. Barns, windmills, and of course, caves were used. And we used to encourage spooky stories to frighten people away from the hiding places. At Hurstmonceau, 2 hours' ride from here, they said that if you heard the sound of the ghostly drummer, you'd better run. Them that saw him said he was 9 feet tall. The gin and brandy we brought ashore was almost neat alcohol, and we watered it down later. Some of us had a sip first, though.
The sailor told me he had drunk no less than 2 gallons, and he was in a stupor for nearly a week afterwards.
We smuggled it strong, because you didn't want to carry a whole load of water, now did you? But it had to be the correct strength before sailing on. We used Lovey's beads, little glass balls, each marked with a different number. You just dropped the bead with the strength number you wanted into the spirit, then poured in water until it popped up to the top. See? You won't believe this, but apparently during the years 1781 to 1784, just 4 years, more than 1 3/4 million gallons of gin were landed in Kent and Sussex, and 2.5 million pounds of tea. That's big business. And the payment for a night's work was more than a farm labourer could earn in a week.
Silence. That's 10 shillings, and you've also get a pound of tea for a good haul.
Thank you, sir. I'll give it to Black-Eyed Nell for a favour.
That's a riding officer. In the early days, they only had riding officers trying to stop the smugglers. These were just local men paid to patrol the coast, but most of them could easily be bribed or intimidated.
Do but dash a bottle of brandy in his face, and he's as blind as a beetle.
Of course, soldiers were sometimes called upon.
There are ways and means of taking off their edge, too.
And out at sea, the Board of Customs had revenue vessels which could usually be avoided. But in the mid-1700s, it all got out of hand.
Contempt for the law grew up under the smuggling system, and it was crowned with murder.
All along the south coast, bands of so-called smugglers sprang up who committed robberies, beatings and murders. Terrible harsh laws were brought in, and the gangs were eventually dispersed, jailed, or hanged. By the 1780s, they'd even brought in the Navy. Then,
England is at war with Napoleon.
Smugglers turned to ferrying spies. Can you believe it? For both sides.
The English smugglers are likable people and have the courage and ability to do anything for money.
When Napoleon was finally defeated in 1815, thousands of English soldiers and seamen returned home with no money and no work. Many of them joined the newly formed Coast Blockade, which was created especially to crush the smuggling trade. There were violent and bloody battles, sometimes with up to 500 smugglers at a time. Taxes were eventually lowered, which meant there was little profit to be made from smuggling. The blockade was disbanded in 1831, when smuggling was on the wane, and the Coast Guard took over. Of course, smuggling still goes on in your time, but it's a very different world. The romantic days of tub running on the Hastings beaches, they are gone forever.
Them that asks no questions isn't told no lie. Watch the wall, my darling, as the gentlemen go by.
And watch out for me as you explore the caves. I'll be seeing you.
All the usual crap you get from bottles of fool's gold. Lighthouse. Oh, you like your skulls? Oh, skull shot glasses are £4.
Like my dragon ones.
Trouble is, I just think you need to get two.
Yeah, well, I've got two of the dragon ones, didn't I?
I do like the shot glasses.
They're not shot glasses.
That's a shield shot glasses.
If I had one of these,
Goblet.
I'd call it Yorick.
Quite like looking in a mirror. I do like these types of things.
Yeah.
Dice with skulls in them.
That's good, isn't it? All shot, was it?
Yeah.
Sweets. Wish pearls. Dig it out kit. Ancient Rome. Don't know what that is. Puzzles. Snow globes. We know where they're London, but yeah, they've got London stuff. Oh, I like these skulls. Union Jack. Yeah. And that's the gift shop. So yeah, that was the Smugglers Caves. Hope you enjoyed it. We love all that sort of thing. It's a shame really we can't go to Chislehurst Caves, but they don't allow you to film in there. A lot of it is a lot dark, very dark. You go around with a little tea lamp. But yeah, we enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed it. I do recommend coming there. It don't take very long to go around it. Yeah, if you like this video, please give it a like. Consider subscribing. I can never say that word. And yeah, hit that notification bell. We'll let you in the loop when we next upload a video. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.